Good morning, good morning. You're in tune to Win FM 98.9. That's on your radio dial. It's Monday morning. It's beautiful Monday morning in St. Kitts. Those of you who are not here, who Kittitians are living abroad, and those of you who are in tune to Win FM 98.9, it's a pity you can't enjoy the kind of weather we're having here. It's Voices, about just about the time. It's a program that is aired on Win FM around this time, 11 o'clock in the morning, until 1:30 in the afternoon. Your host this morning is Sandra Quilly-Atherton. The program is sponsored. We're going to hear from our sponsors, then we come back and we'll have our discussion.
Imagine you have Hollywood at your command. Introducing Flow Evo. Anywhere you are. There's a world of entertainment here, and you run the show. Flow Evo.
Reliability, performance, longevity. This is how you know that Yamaha Outboard motors are the best choice. With superior performance and efficiency, Yamaha Outboard motors offer the greatest value on water. Yamaha Outboard motors. Reliability starts here. Get yours today at the TDC Automotive Divisions for as low as $100 per week. Or buy it cash and get $750 cash back, free gas vouchers, and much more. Plus, earn big bucks with every successful referral made. Visit TDC Automotive today. Terms and conditions apply.
Here comes the sun. Sunquick. Here comes the sun. Sunquick. Sunny flavors for everyone. Natural, tasty, full of vitamin C. The drink for the whole family. It's Sunquick.
Sunquick Drink Concentrate gives you 40 glasses. 9 delicious flavors to choose from.
Orange tropical mango.
Peach orange, orange apricot, black currant.
Apple. Red orange. Red fruit.
Bursting with vitamin C.
Sunquick. Natural, tasty, full of vitamin C. The drink for the whole family. It's Sunquick.
Like us on Facebook, www.facebook.com/ramsupermarket. Follow us on Twitter, www.twitter.com/ramsupermarket. And subscribe to us on YouTube, www.youtube.com/ramsupermarket.
Welcome back. Yes, you are in tune to NFM 98.9. It's Voices program. Like I said earlier, my name is Sandra Quilly-Atherton, and I'll be your host for this morning. Yeah, what are we going to talk about? First, I want to send some congratulatory messages to Chanel Crook. She have made the semifinals. She made the semifinals in the Commonwealth game. We have Rogers there who have made the finals. As a matter of fact, I want to say congratulations to Team St. Kitts and Nevis. We are representing. That is one of the good things about it. We've seen our young Carifta participants. We have had some goals. We've had silver and we've had bronze. And we're seeing our athletes going up in the Commonwealth Games. We want to say congratulations to them. And these are the people that we have to take time out. And, we have to we have to be there and positive and always they're rooting for them. That's what we have to do. We have to make sure that they know that we care and that we are supporting them. And it matters not the fact that you're entering the games mean that you're good enough. Sometimes you meet challenges. After listening to some of those who participate in the Carifta Games, you've heard how much injuries or athletes suffered, and some of them push beyond injuries and in order to participate. It is tough, and we have to, be grateful that we have these young people who are making a positive impact on for St. Kitts and Nevis, not just on the local scene, but on the international and regional scene. What are we going to talk about today? Voices is a program that you can call in and you can share your views. You can say things that you see of concerns that you need to be rectified. We can talk about whatever you feel like. It doesn't have to be any planned topics. You just call in randomly. The numbers you can call 466-0989, 762-0989, and 662-0989. Those are the local numbers. If you're in the UK or the US or even Canada, you can give us a call. If you're in the UK, 033-344-0065 or 718-285-6984. That is the US number that you can call, or 305-921-4619. That is the Canadian number you can call if you're listening to us. Or if you want to look at us live on Facebook, we are Win FM 989. You can look at us live. You can send comments, and we would be able to read if you want us to read the comments, or you can ask questions if you want to ask questions. What are we going to talk about this morning? There's so much things we can talk about. Oh, it was one of the areas that I listened to the news this morning, and it was very interesting. Not only just the news, but I've seen some comments made on Facebook. Let's go to the phone lines. I have a caller waiting there. Let's take this call. I think we would have lost that caller. But I look at a comment made by one of the commentators about the Kiddishan volleyball team look like human lamingtons. Let's go to the phone lines and take this call, and we come back and have this discussion. Caller, you're live on Voices.
Hi, good morning, Sandra.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, I just want to touch on something I heard last week on the airwaves, and this is about, it's concerning the biblical sense. Now, somebody has mentioned that, well, I heard it before, the way they're questioning if there's a goddess,
Mm-hmm.
And, I came across something. I was having a discussion with my boss, and I remember having to bring this about, what I've heard on Voices about some, I think it was Africa. I can call it him because he's a friend of mine, and, he always talk about there's a goddess. But, the Bible speak about, firstly, when we look at nature, there's everything that is opposite, there's male and there's female.
Mm-hmm.
And, the Bible teaches us that God created Adam and Eve, and then he says to replenish the earth. But, my discussion with my boss was, and she kind of brought this over to me, and I said, well, never look at it this way. And he said, well, with God, heaven doesn't need to be replenished. And I thought about that, and I said, well, God is in everything. So why would it be impossible with men to think that there have to be a goddess?
Because
if he created the whole human race, and he said, replenish the earth, he created us to serve him. So that doesn't really say that, there have to be a goddess.
okay, let me answer. Let me ask you one question. Heaven doesn't need to be replenished, but heaven was created, and we know that the male species cannot procreate on its own. So therefore, if there's a created heaven, let's think about that. There must have been a goddess in the first instance, and if everybody there is immortal, then I suppose the goddess is still there.
Well,
Think about
people
it.
would question when God, like I heard Terry always ask when God said, let us make man. No, God wasn't even talking to the angels. He was speaking to his son.
No,
when
you
he
can't.
said, let us make man.
No, there's no specific. We are all assuming. When he said "let us," we know he was speaking to more than one person. That's as much as we know. We didn't know who he was really speaking to.
Well, he included himself. He included himself to his son, and he said, let us make man. But anyway, my thing is that, there's a lot of spin on it, but people would ask questions like, I heard a Rasta guy on the airwave one time say that God cannot be man. But is it impossible with God to be, come down in the flesh in the form of his son?
But why are we so taken up in whether or not God is male or female? God is not man; He's spirit. We know that. So if He is spirit, He has no gender.
And it's the same question where you see this thing about white supremacy. Now they're saying that God is white. No, God is not man. He's a spirit, and God. No one has seen God. God doesn't have a color. And people put so many things behind whether they try to justify when Jesus was born. He have a birth date, and even the Rastas would ask the question that, do we serve a God that have a birth date? You see what I'm saying? So, things that there are a lot of things that in the Bible, people say the Bible contradicts itself, but there's,
You see, a lot of times we're asking questions that we can't see. Everybody going to assume that the answer to it. And that is one of the problems that we're having where Bible is concerned, because everybody is based on assumption. And it's your perception, your interpretation based on what you've read. And I would read the same scripture and I would have my own interpretation. And I think because of the fact that it's always left up into interpretation, people say it contradicts itself. Because there are other scriptures that would do
Sandra,
that.
You know, I just want to throw that out there. Yes, you're absolutely right. But, the thing is, it's a spiritual thing and it's an individual thing, and it goes by revelation. The Spirit reveals things to you inwardly, and that is where you're going to have your strong belief on. But anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there, because I felt that it's important when my boss told me that heaven doesn't need to be replenished.
But like
God
I said,
is in everything. He's in all of us.
Like I said before, if it was created in the first place, and we know that the male species cannot procreate on its own, so therefore there must have been a God. It's only the Christianity religion, which I think, and for me, I think it's just so male oriented, where women can do this and women can do that, and I just think it's so sexist. But it's only the Christian religion that I find that women are pushed in the back seat. All the other religion, they're goddess and goddesses. I don't know why in Christianity they're not.
I only want to try it out there. I would like if Miss Henry is listening and she can shed some light on this, and also Africa, even Terry. I like those kind of debates. Anyway, that's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you for calling in. It's one of those religious debates this morning. It is interesting. Yeah, people ask the same question. I've asked the question, and if we're supposed to get answers by going to the Bible, and when we go to the Bible, we can't seem to get the answers. I mean, why haven't the Bible said to us, Jesus referred to his father, so God must be a man, because Jesus was on the cross and referred to his father. I think people's argument is there must be a female goddess. Let's go to the phone line and take this call. Caller, your live on Voices.
Yes, I wish to respond. Good morning, Sandra.
Hi, good morning. Hi, Africa.
Well, actually, I don't like to raise these matters, these issues, unless they are being raised, and then I would weigh in on it. Mm-hmm. Well, me and Mrs. Henry, we was debating, and I think, Sandra, it was pertaining to last month, last month was the year, the month of the woman, and, the all things women and the like. And we weighed in on it. And we was talking about the Jeremiah, chapter 44, verse 17, where the daughters of Jerusalem said, when we did all these good things, and we baked cake, and we offering libations, and all these good things to the Queen of Heaven, everything was nice and perfect. Now we found ourselves stop doing it, and all sorts of plagues and diseases and famine and war came on us. And the women also reiterate and said, you think we did all these things without the knowledge of our husbands? Our husbands was a part of it, because they lit the fire and everything was plenished, everything was thriving, perfect. Okay? So what we found now, all throughout even Jerusalem, there was a suppression. But the temple where the Jews was, like, for instance, in Elephantine, is an island in the Aswan down in Egypt, and there was a Jewish community, and it said that Anet and Yahuwah and Yahoo, okay, his Yahweh and his Ashua, his Yahoo, which is the feminine. So, and it's not that.
Caller, we're losing you. We can't seem to hear you. I don't know.
Hello?
Hi.
Yes. It's also in the Sinai, where you find Yahweh and his Ashura, and Yahuwah and his and Yahoo and so forth. So you see that correlation was throughout the ancient time before it was suppressed not only by Christianity, Sandra, but by Judaism under some of the prophets.
You see,
and also by Islam. So I would not single out Christianity alone, but to us, Christianity applies because we live in a Christian society.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You see, one of the things, Africa, is that a lot of us don't read anything outside of the Bible. The Bible is one of the youngest form of religion. We know that. And a lot of Christians do not read anything outside of the Bible. And so, therefore, if you're going to go to something that is so new, there must be a source from which information would have come. And when you look at the Bible, the beginning is not even the beginning. And Genesis is not even the beginning. So
Yes,
because
so
something
true.
must have happened
Because
before
if you read
when
in
he
Isaiah
said,
and Jeremiah, you'll find at the beginning.
yeah, but
And
then
Sandra, what I also was to say is that I like to use the metaphor of peeling an onion. You have to go back, take off one layer, and then another layer, and then it started to become crystal. But as you take off those layers, the rime from the layers, it's like it's crying. You shed tears. And we must shed tears to see what they suppress from our people.
it is true. And the Bible said you must replenish. Replenish means that it must have been there before. So something must have happened, and so now you want it to be replenished,
And
refill.
So, even before they said the 7 churches, there were the 7 shrines or the 7 temples that was established by these women, these black African women that went through what we call Asia Minor, Turkey today, and established those shrines and those temples towards the balance. Now, I just doesn't purport the goddess. I purport both male and female. You know, I say Mao, Lisa.
Well, you see, it's not in the
I
Bible.
include both because there has to be a balance.
But
So we are so off of balance today. That's why nothing is happening for us, because we only see one aspect of the energy. Don't tell me in Greek mythology, Zeus, Athena gonna born from Zeus' head and all sorts of nonsense. That's not scientific. We know people were born from the vagina. And that's the norm in science.
No. But you're
That's
seeing
how
that
birth
now.
is.
No. You're seeing that now. Where I said the Earth is billions of years old. Things might have been done differently then. We can't. Like I said, we are all assuming.
But we're talking about science.
Science. Says what? Science changes every time. One time, science is a theory. Theory changes. It's based on somebody's perception. That's what science is. It's a theory. If my theory is such and such, later on somebody will come and say, no, it's not like that. It's changed. It's a changing world. Everything changes. So we can't go based
from somebody's head. I'm going to accept the birth the way birth is.
Okay, then. Well, that's what you've seen it now. If you see a dragon now, you might say, oh, I wouldn't accept that kind of mythical creature. Thank you, Africa. Thank you for your contribution. It's just
All right,
what
so some of it is in the Bible.
Okay, so let's
read Jeremiah.
Read Jeremiah, what you said, 47 and verse 7.
Chapter 44, verse 17.
44 and verse 17. For those of you who are listening and who wants to verify that they're goddess and goddesses, then you can read Jeremiah 44 and verse 17, and I suppose we can get some confirmation on that. Let's go back to the phone lines and take this call. Caller, you're there. Hello? I think we might have lost that caller. Let's take this other call. Caller, you are live on Voices. Hi. Hello, you're live on Voices.
Good morning, Sandra.
Hey, good morning.
Yes, I'd like to talk about what happened in Australia with our volleyballers.
Yeah, the lamingtons, the edible cakes.
Yeah, man, Sandra, imagine the other way around if they had that tournament here in St. Kitts and one of our commentators said those Australian volleyballers look like ice cream, vanilla ice cream with cornflakes sprinkled on. Could you imagine the uproar? And the thing is, some people would actually come on and try to justify something like that.
But maybe they just think that they look edible. They're accustomed to seeing.
Well, Sandra, I mean, the English language, the English vocabulary is very, very vast. You could have said that.
Oh, well,
look, remember the other day when who it was, Chris Gale?
Yeah.
Was complimenting one of the
same Australian
female reporters,
yeah.
And it was a big thing. Oh, he sexually harassed, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But now they're going to downplay this thing with our volleyballers. We as a people, as black people, we got to stop accepting these kind of things.
But what can we do
when
though?
They had the H&M controversy when they had the little boy in the shot mark and coolest monkey in the jungle.
Yeah.
A lot of people were trying to say, "Oh man, they just it's cute."
But
how anybody in St. Kitts meet you and tell you look like a monkey? What the next thing gonna happen?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
That mean they have some. That mean that's a good-looking monkey because I'm good-looking. So we have some good-looking monkeys around there, and that's what he means.
Well, nobody gonna refer to me as the monkey.
Let me tell you.
I know where the basis come from. It's not a flattering term.
It is not a
That's
flattering.
one thing. That's one thing I admire about the Jewish people. You can't disparage them.
But if we're gonna spend all the time, I mean, I have made comments because it upsets me, and I can get very, very upset when I see people making racial slurs. And I realized, one day I said to myself, I mean, how can you change this, though? I mean, people who have come before us, Martin Luther King, the likes of Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, they've come, and it's still happening. Jesus came, he died on the cross, say all men were created equal, and it's still happening. So how do you change it, though?
Well, you don't necessarily have to change it, but you don't have to stand for it, because as old people say, give somebody an inch, they're going to take a mile. They're going to start by calling you whatever that lady call you. You got actually people in the States, they talk about free speech, they're infringing on my free speech because they can't call you the N-word. But when you call them racist, they run, we was racist, you're calling me racist. The vex is a big problem to them. I look what happening in South. I read an article, I listened to a YouTube video the other day. They arrested this woman in South Africa for abusing some police, and they have the equivalent of the N-word in South Africa, some kind of a kaffa, something like that, telling the police, calling them that. She said, she want no kaffa police, she want either Indian or colored person to come and assist her, and they did give her 3 years in jail for that kind of outburst. So the people on the African continent gain the message. We out in the diaspora need to do the same. If you can't say, as old people say, if you can't say something nice,
shut up.
Hush your mouth.
Shut up.
Exactly.
That's what it
you don't have to stand for it, because if we had to do the same to them, it would be a big thing. Chandra, you know that.
It's true.
It's going to be a big thing.
That's
I remember when Kanye West took away the microphone from, what's your name again? Taylor Swift. Man, they had Kanye. Kanye was the worst man in America. So you see, if it was an equivalency, I wouldn't have mind, but there's no fair equivalency. When they do it, it's cute. When we do it, it's a crime. That's just my 2 cents on it.
Thank you for your contribution. We Know Voices is a sponsored program. For the first half, is sponsored by TDC Rams and Flo. We hear from our sponsors, then we'll come back and we'll continue our discussion.
Quench me thirst, I bust that time now. Watch me, I bust and smile out. Boy. Freestyle, free buster, a freestyle. Watch we are playing full color, meanwhile whole heap of flavor. Every one of them tries to the drink, are refreshing and nice. Me tell you say a buster, me buy you with my money. This a everybody drink, I know me one love it. Have it ya, for the kids, them daddy harmony. Buster, we playing full color. Correct, I am too.
Extra! Don't be strapped for cash. Get extra this Easter from TDC Financial Services. Extra for your vacation. Extra for your new furniture. Extra for your shopping spree. Extra! Visit us in the Circus in St. Kitts and the TDC Plaza in Nevis and get extra this Easter. TDC Financial Services. Money made easy. Terms and conditions apply.
My phone is my everything. It's where I make plans. You at 7. It makes me laugh.
When Africans go to the bank, I would like to say hi to my money and leave.
Lets me share my happiest moments and hear a comforting voice when I need it most. It'll be all right. It's like a best friend. That's why I get everything out of my phone with a Flo prepaid combo plan.
Save up to 95% on data, talk and text on the fastest and most reliable 4G LTE network. The bigger you go, the bigger you save. So activate your Flo prepaid combo plan today and get your best friend everything.
Okay, we're back. We have 2 callers online. So callers, take this first call and be wary that somebody else is behind waiting for you. You're live on Voices.
We're going to do that for my birthday.
Hello?
Hello?
You're online.
Hello?
Hello, you're live.
Yes, good morning. I'm listening you, right? You said something, you said the Bible interpretation can be contradiction at times. But you said something that I said... You said God is a spirit. And you know why the Bible can be contradiction at times? Because then it takes spirit to understand spirit. Just like how when Peter said to Jesus, thou art the Christ, he said, only Flesh and blood, Peter, did not reveal that to you. Only the Holy Spirit could reveal that. That is why the Bible is contradicted to man, because then it takes spirit to understand spirit. That is why we need the Holy Ghost to really get the comprehension of God's word. Okay, to this the volleyball players, I think sometimes we make issue where there's no issue, because we may put things, maybe what people are thinking that it was, the lady meant it as racism. That's probably was the furthest thing from her mind. Now, the thing that she's talking about is this chocolate cake, supposed to be a delicious dessert. So maybe when she look at those sweaty kittish individuals, she saw something that she wouldn't mind taking a bite out of.
Exactly.
You know, it could be that. And one of your caller went on to talk about the young kid that did the ad for H&M. I mean, if his mother allowed him to wear the T-shirt that said what it said, she didn't mind her son wearing the T-shirt. Why should we make an issue out of it? His mother got her money and she gone home happy. And here we are, killing up yourself over something. I mean, sometimes some things you just need to let roll off your back like a duck and move on. Otherwise, you'll have constant migraine. You have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you for your contribution. I think we have another call online. We'll take this call. Caller, you're live on Voices.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, you know, I am so enlightened when I hear about when we get religious, because part of the religion that we adopt help to shape our value system. But I'm also mindful of the fact that based on the legacy of slavery, the enslavers put us to hold on to the Bible while they hold on to the land. And they hold on to the economy and control everything. And I'm getting very concerned that we may get caught up with all these, must say, theoretical debates, and we condone what is happening to our people. Because right now, the colonialism is still rife in St. Kitts, especially in the Southeast Peninsula. And they're not going to use the physical chains. They're going to use the financial chains. And they're using our local people. And some of them, their lineage and their descendants from some of them, some same colonialists. But they became mixed over the years like a mongrel stock. I'm concerned about what I'm hearing in Frigate Bay and the Southeast Peninsula, where it seems as though that even though we are progressing in tourism, the Minister of Tourism is doing a very good job. It reminds me of when the old people used to say, everything glitter is not gold. I think the people who are marginalized are becoming marginalized over there, because some people decide to act on behalf of people who are not like us, who don't look like us, who don't think like us, so that they can have that area out there for their financial gains and for them to have their recreation without having many of us there, and for their dogs to go and defecate on the sand. And the powers that we need to pay attention, because people are crying out. I understand they're using fees to drive these people away, exorbitant fees. And the debate need to focus on that, and the media need to go and find some of these people who are crying out in Frigate Bay and other areas, because if tourism is going to be booming, it cannot be like the new sugar plantation with a different name.
Thank you.
Okay?
Appreciate that. Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you for your contribution. It's true. We have another caller. Let's take this call. Caller, we've lost that caller. The caller raised a good point about the situation that we are looking at in Frigate Bay. We have to be very careful. We talk about people ridiculing us in their country, but look at what we are doing to our own. Let's go to the phone lines and take a call. Caller, you're live on Voices.
Hey, good morning, my lady.
Hey, good morning, Carl. How you do?
Oh, I'm not doing too bad for my age, Mrs. Atherton.
That's good.
Mrs. Atherton, I want to touch on something here. I ain't getting into the religious debate because you don't get nowhere with that.
Tall.
Right? What I'm getting in is projects and programs and growth of the economy. You see all these projects that the government is bursting open. I hear in the central bank and I hear in from all these institutions that project growth for countries. But all these projects that this government is going to burst open in a few weeks, is no way we're going to do that 3.4 or 3.5 growth that they are talking about. Real growth is going to be about 5% and maybe upward. Because when you look at the road project that is going to start shortly, I must say high note of praise to the government that all of these local contractors bid and getting jobs, and all of these construction people is going to get jobs. The mom and pop shop going to get some extra business, and the little supermarkets, the little, everybody along these Island Main Road is going to get a little extra business. And hey, when you look at it, Mrs. Atherton, the fair share is sharing out to many, many, many people in so many ways. Big props to the government. And I'm waiting for the second pier to start. I'm waiting for the surfacing of the airport. I'm waiting for the finishing of the public works, new mechanic area there at the sugar factory. And I'm waiting for the housing project there at Baker's Corner. And I'm waiting for the bus station and the bus station down the terminal. It's no way we're going to do a 3-point-something growth. With all of these projects cause growth because people get upliftment, the economy get upliftment, so we're going to hit about a 5% growth.
Good projection.
Go on, Miguel.
Thank you for your call, Carl. I think Miss Henry have competition. She's the economist. I suppose she would weigh in on the growth factor, having all that statistics collected by you, Carl. Miss Henry can now analyze her statistics, and she can bring out some reports and tell us how much percentage growth we expect from all these projects. Let's go back to the phone lines and take this call. Caller, you're live on Voices. Hello?
Yes, good morning, Sanjo.
Hi, good morning.
We are very colonized people in our mind, unfortunately to say, This commentator in Australia made, was calling out on it. People in Australia, because in Australia, it's a racist term. Let's look back in history. Before the white colonists got to Australia, it was full of black people called the Aborigines. Mm-hmm. The Aboriginal people who were there were black people with the kind of kinky hair. And they systematically slaughtered them until they're like a minority now, and that's a term that is used on them. So when sometimes I went and I researched it myself, it's a racist term, but she doesn't think that nobody outside of Australia would know that. But people from Australia was calling her out on it. It's not no cute thing. If the guys them look good and delicious to her, she could say that they look athletic or whatever, but the term is known in Australia, but not anywhere else in the world. Like in St. Kitts, you tell somebody named Mumu. Nobody else outside of St. Kitts or maybe in the Caribbean might know what Mumu means. They might feel like, and it is something good about it, but they wouldn't know. Same thing in Australia, that's a term they use to disparage the Aboriginal people. They call them black fellas. All kind of thing I can't really repeat.
But you see, but you call it, and I do understand what you all are saying, and I feel the same way. For me, sticks and stones can break my bones, words don't do me harm. I know who I am, nobody gonna define me, and I've always said that. I'm black.
Yeah.
And if somebody look at me and call me, you're black, I am black, and I would not be able to change that.
We'll just laugh it off. Oh, it's
you don't find it funny, but then it's just...
No. It's just... they got verbal abuse,
Verbal abuse?
And everybody could...
Call it, let me tell you.
What these words mean, you have to react. Me and you don't know about it, but I do the research and it's a disparaging word.
And if you call me a word that I don't know, I wouldn't even try to find out.
If you come from South Africa and call me a kaffa, I wouldn't know what you mean, but nobody in St. Kitts wouldn't know that. But you can't call a black South African a kaffa. You're looking something you want to get, So we need to look into the background of these words and hear these Caucasian people use them, and we don't take them to think there's something cute. So most of the time they're not. if a kitty or a black person can next black person a monkey, well, that's between.
Well, why, no. Well, why should you allow?
It?
Why should you allow? No. I was about to ask the same question. Why should I allow a black person to call me a monkey and a white person can't call me a monkey? It doesn't work like that. I am not a monkey, neither to blacks nor white. I am who I am, a human being. But we allow, and this is the same thing.
Earlier, Mr. Atherton, I said that, and you said you would be a cute monkey.
Yeah, you said. Hear what I just said to you. Hear what I just said to you.
What this monkey thing means.
I said to you that, and you went on to say that if a black person called you a monkey, I mean, it's cool. And it's not cool. For me, I am a human. And sometimes we start with our own. We start to use adjective that would belittle our own. And even our young little children, you listen to parents call the children certain names in the household, and then you expect the child to go out there and be what? If you start talking down to people, that's what's going to happen. So I don't care who you are. You refer to me in any derogative way, I'm going to tell you I'll just tell you where to get off. If it affects me, normally it doesn't. Just like water on a duck's back. I don't care whatever I know who I am. Nobody have to define me. And a lot of times we wait for people to define us, and that's what poses problems.
Yes, what my discussion is, we should not stand for it, because if we even attempt to do that, it would be blown totally out of proportion, and it would be justified.
Sometimes if you ignore them, they will feel worse than you. When you start to look at it, they feel like they have affected you. I mean, and sometimes a lot of time I ignore because when you ignore people, you make them feel like, okay, yeah, I really reach where I'm supposed to reach. You ignore them and it's neither here nor there.
Well, as the earlier caller stated, as much as we try to ignore it, it's right here in saying it's right now. And
exactly.
If we don't put a brakes on it, they're going to find a name for us down here too. In one island.
Okay, caller, thank you.
We just need to be on the lookout. We need to be vigilant, and I'm saying we must go and, confront anybody and be hostile to them. But just, be on your whereabouts, and when people say certain things to you, you question it. If you don't understand what they're talking about, ask them, what does that mean? Don't let them slide the calling you something that you don't know.
Okay, caller. Thank you for your contribution. Your contribution has been noted.
All right.
Voices has been sponsored for the first half is TDC Rams. We'll take this call before we hear from our sponsor. Caller, you're live on Voices.
Hello. I am very, concerned that we as a people, we haven't really understood what it takes for people to respect us,
Mm-hmm.
If you break up with somebody, the best revenge is to what? Live well within yourself. Treat yourself well.
Mm-hmm.
Treat your family well and yourself well. Treat yourself and your family well. And we as a people in the Caribbean haven't started doing that as yet. We are looking out for everybody else. And that is why you would get conversations like what you just had. Because when they look at you and you're not uplifting yourself, and you have started to get economic and financial prowess, they're going to think everything about you, anything. Because, as the saying goes, talking is cheap, whiskey costs money.
Mm-hmm.
They don't say these things about the Chinese and the Koreans and the Japanese.
No, they did say about the Chinese, because that same commentator
not anymore.
That same commentator made a comment, I think it was last year, about the Chinese. So it has been an issue. They talk about them, not because they're financially, they're affluent, but they talk about them. They do talk about them.
But they don't go into their countries then and try to, let's say, capitalize on their resources, because they realize these people are looking
Chinese
out for
don't want their money.
And their people.
They don't want their money, and so you can't go in and make those kind of statements. You go in and you beg. You go to China, you're begging, you're not helping. You come to St. Kitts and you're helping, so we are begging. So we become beggars, and they help
that's
us.
what we need to. So we need to turn it around.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Right? Are we not doing that?
No.
We are advertising everything that we good for somebody else to use,
and when they call us
leave
name,
your people to do the menial things, to become heroes of wood and carriers of water.
And then people refer to us as that, and we have a problem with it, but we made our people into that.
Well, we who got the airwaves need to start creating the consciousness, because if you remember Martin Luther's speeches, some of his speeches, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of those speeches, he outlined the fact that in the Midwest, when slavery was abolished, they share the lands out to the people, the white people, especially those from England and Europe. And the slaves who slaved for over 200 years for nothing, they did not give them any land. And we here in this Caribbean, where people see us as having just sunshine and sun, and it fetches a value in terms of tourism. They are coming and capitalizing, and we allow them to do it, and take our best beaches and deciding where we can sell, how much we could sell, and so forth. And our leaders, people got to realize that when politics time come around and you have campaigns going on and you're getting free rum, free beers, free guineas, ain't the politician who pay for it, 9 times out of 10. It's somebody else who pay for it who's going to call the shots and decide where you're going to sell, how you're going to work, and how much you're going to pay for, and which land you're going to be able to buy if you get it to buy. And this is how we need to really open the eyes of our people and get our politicians, when they're campaigning, since some of the parents seem incapable or they condone what they should tell their children, the schools don't have it in the curriculum, instead of politicians focusing on cursing each other, even take 10% out of your time for people, for consciousness, raising the consciousness and upliftment. How much of that you get when campaigning going on, right? Because when you people start crying out and saying, well, oh, I used to sell this place and now I can't do it because some white man get some baron, some rich baron, whether it's Indian, Chinese, whatever, going to put down this and that there. And they say, we can't sell here, we can't make any money there no more. The people who go out there and do some private trade and feed the children, got to be out there and that kind of things. Who caused that? It's our own people caused that. So we allow other people to take advantage of us.
Yeah.
And I'm concerned that too much of our conversations and forums like these based on too many semantics, and religion and so forth, because it's religion that kept us in slavery and created so many wars that killed so many people. And if we focus so much on that, we ain't gonna got money to put in our pocket and plan some for future generations.
It's true.
All right.
Okay, caller. Thank you for your contribution to this. The first half is sponsored by TDC Rams and Flow. We hear from our sponsors. Then we'll come back and we'll continue our discussion.
You need new tires but don't know what to get. TDC can help.
Hi, I'm Goodyear. I ensure great handling and great braking in wet and dry conditions.
My name is Sunphone. My continuous block patterns enhances stability at high-speed cornering. Did someone say speed? Hi, I'm Torque. Pick me for great performance and stability.
Boys, I know exactly what they want. I'm Presta. I'm the perfect fit for your SUV. Pick me and get the ultra-high performance with outstanding grip and traction regardless of the road conditions.
So which one of us are you going to choose? For the most reliable, durable, high-performance tires, come to TDC Automotive Divisions. We'll help you choose from the best brands at the best prices.
Imagine you have Hollywood at your command. Introducing Flow Evo. Anywhere you are.
Everything creeping through the night. Big girls don't scream hard like Halloween. Make me feel alive.
There's a world of entertainment here, and you run the show. Flow Evo.
Quakes, 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 quakes. Quakes cleans many, 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 many dishes and many, 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 many more.
Quicks cleans many, 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 many dishes and many, 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 many more.
Yes, Quakes cleans many, 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 many dishes and many, 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 many more.
Just one spoonful of concentrated Quakes cleans your whole sink full of dishes. Quakes, 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 Quakes clean.
Quakes cleans many, 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 many dishes and many, 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 many more.
Quakes, we wash more dishes.
Like us on Facebook, www.facebook.com/ramsupermarket. Follow us on Twitter, www.twitter.com/ramsupermarket. And subscribe to us on YouTube, www.youtube.com/ramsupermarket.
Welcome back. We go straight to the phone lines and take this call. Caller, you live on Voices. Hello? Hello? Caller, you're live. Okay, I suppose we don't have the caller. We'll take another call. Caller, you're live on Voices. Hello? I wish you all would listen to your radio and you listen to your phones, because that's one of the issues we have. We have that delay, and when I'm saying you're live, you're not hearing me. So when you're calling, just listen to your phone and not your radio. We would appreciate that. And the feedback comes through, and it's not very comfortable. Okay, well let's continue some of the discussions that we've had. Yeah, I said earlier, when sometimes we take and I take offense when people would say anything negative about me. I do take offense, but do I spend the rest of my life or time even dwelling on it? No, I don't. People, words affect you the way you want them to affect you. And a lot of times we have to take that into consideration. Let's take this call. Call you live on Voices.
Good morning again, Mrs. Atherton.
Hi, morning, Carl.
Mrs. Atherton, something I want to draw to the authorities' attention. That is to the prison, Ministry of Tourism, and the Ministry of Health. Those three does work together. It's concerning the bird sanctuary over here in Camp. I mean, when you look at it, hundreds of taxis and tour buses and all kind of thing bring tourists over here to look at these birds. These birds are in the hundreds. And then that's right here by the Camp bus station. And when Weatherman Dorset, Mr. Weatherman Dorset used to be in charge of the prisoners, as soon as I call, he will have the prisoners them over here to clean it up. When Mr. Juni Hodge was there, they used to do it. Since Mr. Juni Hodge left, the state of this bird sanctuary over here, it's ridiculous, right? The grass and the trees need cleaning away from the trees where the birds are nesting. So much tourists come here on a daily basis, whether ship in or off or out. Everybody stop here looking at these wonderful white birds. And I'm calling on the authorities, please, to send the prisoners and maybe some parks and beaches people over here to clean up the place. It looks horrible to see all these jets and all these buses, trucks, vans, all kind of things, and see the tourists them tiptoeing to take pictures of the birds.
Okay.
So I'm calling on the authorities, please come over here and clean it up. If Mr. Dorset today, you see what clean it, you see what call now? By 1 o'clock, if I'm not here, I have a crew over here cleaning it up.
Well, cool.
Girl.
Okay, then thank you. Just let us know whether or not that problem has been addressed, because you've been asking about that stench, and the stench is still there in the Buckley's area. Please pay attention to situations like these. We're not clean just for tourists, but for locals. Let's go to the phone lines and take this call. Caller, you're live on Voice.
Good morning to you, Sanjo.
Hey, morning, Terry. How are you
And good morning to your listeners home and abroad.
Mm-hmm.
Sanjo, one of your callers called in this morning, and he made mention of a post on Facebook which appears to have gone viral. That has to do with the number of the bar owners on the strip.
Mm-hmm.
But one particular owner, who's is Jigo, I know him as Johnny Maud, and he did not write an epistle. He had a few paragraphs. Well, I want to talk an epistle, and I believe this is going to take me up to news time, and please permit me to, Sanjo, because between myself and Jigo, it is intimate and personal. We are friends. And we go way back since we was about maybe 4 or 5 years. Way back in McKnight in West Bongat. And so, when I read what he wrote, I began to feel pain. I was hurt. Because I knew of the situation some time ago. And you must not use money, rent, to evict persons for another to set up business. Let me repeat that. You must not use money to evict your local people for another. And it appears this is what is happening.
But Terry, let me ask you a question. Is it because they are encouraging other people to come in?
Well, Sanjay, it appears so from what I heard.
Okay.
And I get it from one of the owners.
Okay.
Let me tell you what is happening to us. And our government better be forewarned. From the southeastern peninsula, come all the way down to Friars Bay, are going to be occupied by foreigners or foreign business.
We're allowing it, Terry. We are allowing it.
And they have forced, or want to force the rest of them into Frigate Bay. And there's no more space. But others, with the same kind of face, with the same kind of color, appears to be the ones who want to force our people. But look who is entertaining it. Look who is entertaining it. Our people. And for what reason? The people already have, they make money in the Sanjo.
You're not telling me.
Because everybody going to the southeast, you know. They hardly make money. I have been to bodies on a number of occasions, and when my ham radio operators friend come from the United States, I carry him there. I patronize him. And he said it, you know. It's the local people who support my businesses have not kept.
He doesn't
thing.
He doesn't
not
own
one thing.
He doesn't own for the ships. He opens
I've increased for the last 17 years.
Exactly.
Exactly, Sanjo. Just come for the ship and they're gone on the beach over there. But you know what hit me more, Sanjo? He said something. And he wrote to it, and I became aware of it long before he writes, Sanjo. That when we voted for Pam and Dr. Simmons, against our own conscience, against our family, because we felt as though a change was necessary. He said, my mother is in one line and I am in another line. He can't watch his mother. He can't watch his mother because he know what he's going to do. We came out the belly of labor. And just imagine, we gone against our family. Because we took a stand. And why, I am asking this question, Mr. Boncampo is behaving like that? And why Lindsey Grant, the Minister of Tourism, is not saying anything to Mr. Boncampo in the way they are treating the people? I'm going to say lastly, Sanjo, and I said the government be better be forewarned. And if John L. Powell have any sense, any common sense, because he's from McKnight, he must intervene as well, because he and Lindsey Grant, I believe, is business partners. And he better say a word to him, because McKnight people, we act cliquey.
But is it,
we are cliquey,
wait,
Sanjo.
Is it
and
Lindsey Grant?
Will pay a price for this, because the boundary has to change, you know. And if the boundary change, and Team Unity wants the third candidate, every one of them might pay a price. Every one of them. You can't go hour after people and then come back to tell us, I must vote for you to keep you in government. Not at all, go so. Leave the people alone. Leave the poor people alone. You chase them from the peninsula. You chase them from Friars Bay. No, you're chasing them out of Frigate Bay. Our people got to stand up. And the bar owners must speak out. Don't allow me and Dwyer to be speaking out all the time for you.
And me, because I'm going to be...
And you as well, Sanjo. It is wrong. It is wrong what they're doing to people. And then they're going to say, whatever you want, where he can get. Eh? I didn't vote for that. I didn't support the Prime Minister, Dr. Harris, for that. No.
Good.
I didn't do it.
Okay.
And so this is personal. This is very personal to me. Kajiga is a friend. He is a friend. That is why I'm here this morning, pleading to the government to get involved in this particular matter. Quite the paces from what Jigo is writing. Boncampo is saying he's not going to yield. Who is Jigo? Who is Jigo to write to them? Or who is these people to write to him? They're out of place. Mr. Boncampo, you and I was out there on the streets, you know. You and I was out there on the street. We were the first responders. And you know, Mr. Boncampo, what we went through. When I see you, you see me. When I see you, I see Patches. When I see you, I see Lindsey Grant. I see Shari. Eh? We fought this fight to get rid of the Labour government. And I'm saying, do not treat poor people this way. Stop it. I have not heard the minister said one thing as to what is happening to Frigate Bay. And this thing seems to be going on now for the last 6 weeks. Come out and tell the country if there's any truth to it. Come out and tell the country if the Frigate Bay Development Corporation is carrying up the rent to evict the people. Tell the country the truth.
That's
Have a
not
good
gonna
day,
happen,
Sanjo.
Terry. Thank you, Terry. But that is not going to happen. I mean, just like you said, it's so unfair. We have to be our brother's keepers. At the end of the day, if we allow these things to continue to happen, sooner or later we all will be displaced. And it's happening. It's happening. But you know, a lot of times I've always said it. We are very reactive. We are not proactive. And we sit aside. We talk about people calling us names. But look at how you live. We sit around and we allow these things to happen to us. We allow foreigners to come in. They're going to take over. And then they're going to chuck us in a little corner. And when you're in your little corner, we talk about slavery. We're not going to have the shackles anymore. Some of us won't have the shackles. But we are already mentally enslaved. You know why? Because everybody is looking for that tourist dollar. It's about that time. It's news time. We'll go to the news. After the news, we'll come back and we'll continue Voices. But first, let me remind you that the first half of Voices was sponsored by TDC Rams and Flow.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
We now bring you the headline news. The headline news is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, The Grange, KDP Enterprises, FamCare, Subway, Carib Brewery, and CNC Trading.
BioCare Lab says it's your hair, so wear it your way with Curls and Naturals Hair Care Solutions. Start it right with Curls and Naturals Texturizer Hair Softener, infused with Moroccan argan oil, and maintain it with a Dream Curl Cream with honey and shea butter, all with daily moisturizing anti-fizz and shine serum. For locks and twists, nourish them with a curl defining custard and see them grow. It's your hair. Wear it your way with Curls and Naturals. A brand new you every day.
Curls and Natural, sold locally by CNC Trading on the CAP Southwell Industrial Site. Telephone 465-4081.
Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secure. Oh, oh, oh. Deal while win and go. People you can try. These are free. 30 days in April. Stick with me. Take a pick on the discount. Percentage free. 30 to 50 off comprehensive premium. And if you got a third party, take the maximum. You got 10 days. Use it as you wish. Alternative transport. Not a penny to your list. You get a brand new ride if your car's written off within the first 12 months. Tell me how does that sound? Yeah, yeah. Sounds good, doesn't it? It don't stop there, cause I ain't really finished yet. Call the group up, tell them it's okay. We can ride free, knowing medical is in our lane. No additional cost. So whether it's the act of God or a critical loss, tomorrow we're secured cause we got you on our minds. People you can trust, you can hold it to your dime.
Ride free this Easter. Contact the Little Walwyn in St. Kitts, 465-2631, or in Nevis, 469-5303. Conditions apply.
Ride free.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts, offering 24-hour nursing, therapeutic, and residential care for older adults? It's situated at Otley, 7 miles east of Vastair in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodation to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020, fax 466-8221, or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com, or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
Come to Subway and eat fresh. Try our daily specials. That's right, we have a special every day at Subway. Come in today and eat fresh. Stay healthy.
Every country has a story of its own, and the people who live there are the ones that tell it best.
This is God
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world. Whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous, you can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air. We get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises, telephone number 466-9595.
The Deputy Prime Minister Sean Richards is re-elected unopposed as party leader, but changes in the executive include a new chairman and a new deputy political leader as the curtains come down on the 53rd Annual Delegates Conference of the People's Action Movement. 120 delegates from 8 constituencies reportedly attended Sunday's event. The chairman-elect of PAM is Jonal Powell. He spoke to Win FM about that conference.
It's really an internal exercise. So I wouldn't venture to speak tales out of school. But what I can say is the general discussion had to do with how do you maintain the strength of the party and how do you grow it and make it stronger. You know, that was basically the sentiment discussed on the ground, on the floor of the caucus, I should say. And I think it was certainly a very interesting one. Different opinions were shared, and I would say solutions to any concerns that certain persons may have had were brought forward. And I think we have a good platform on which to grow the party and strengthen the party and ultimately strengthen the coalition, which we are a significant part of.
There has been some talk about PAM's brand as to how do you maintain your brand. You seem to have a lot of seats. We heard at the PLP's convention that essentially is not a question of how many seats. It's a question of, basically a body has different parts and all that. How do you deal with the issue of, okay, some will say the PLP has a prime minister, the CCM has a premier. What does the People's Action Movement have, and how do you explain to your listeners why you're in this coalition, and how do you protect your brand?
Well, let me put it this way. Even with the PLP having a prime minister and CCM having a premier, 3 seats don't win a government. And so the People's Action Movement brought 4 seats to the table, and so we formed the Government of National Unity. But that is a non-issue because before we went to the polls, we had agreed and told the people that we would support Dr. Timothy Harris as Prime Minister. And we knew that Vance Amri was the Premier, and we expected CCM to win the next election, and if not him, Mark Brantley as the then Deputy Leader of CCM to become Premier of Nevis. So that is really a non-issue. We knew that, and we told the people that before we went to them. But in terms of PAM's identity, I don't think that it has been lost. I think that is really propaganda, as I indicated. We were the most successful party in the last general elections. We won 4 seats. There's no other party that won that many. We are well represented in Parliament and in the government. Our ministers of government continue to perform diligently and in a stellar fashion in the name of the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. And so we're proud of what we've achieved, and we look forward to adding to the current setup, i.e. Central Bastia, which I will be contesting again.
Would you say that you have a similar arrangement for the next election?
Yes. The People's Actual Movement is fully committed to team unity and to a government of national unity. We believe that the principles that we set out to achieve are being achieved. We believe that the unity government is the best arrangement for all of the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, and so we will strive, as I said, not just to be a part of it, but to be an even greater part of it in terms of what we bring to the table. I agree with Prime Minister Harris when he says the body has different parts, and so we make up a part, and we are going to do everything in our power to make sure that our part is as strong as possible and contributes as much as it can.
And the party will back Prime Minister Harris for a second term as Prime Minister?
Yes, we will come together as we did before, and all three parties, and there's no change as far as I'm aware at this point in time, and so we will do what we have to do. And if it means that all three parties come together and say, yes, we are supporting Timothy Harris again, we will do that.
How many constituencies are you likely to contest in the next election?
We still have 6 candidates, and there's been no change to that. And the intention is to hopefully win all 6 seats that we contest.
The Governor General, Sir S.W. Tapley Seaton, is hosting the 16th Conference of Governors General and Presidents of the Caribbean. The opening ceremony is slated for this evening at Government House. In a recent interview with the media, the Governor General said the conference will discuss regional and international issues and feature presentations from regional luminaries. Since his appointment, the Governor General has embarked on a number of initiatives to explain the role of his office and has increased information flows from Government House. At a recent media briefing, the Governor General responded to questions about perceptions of his office and St. Kitts and Nevis' relationship with the United Kingdom.
What about your accountability to Her Majesty in England? Do you have any sort?
No, I have no. All that happens is that, of course, I don't have to submit a report. Okay, that is not how it goes. It is purely a formal relationship, but one is independent in every activity that one undertakes. There is no need to send a report. They keep me informed in terms of matters from the palace, any activities that may be undertaken. If I go to the UK at any time, Her Majesty is informed, and there could be a private audience and that sort of thing, but not that there is a need for day-to-day interaction.
Okay, like
the interaction, yeah, there is a wedding coming up in May, but the interaction, it's not a state occasion. If it was a state occasion, then the Governor General would be invited to attend, but it's not a state occasion. But there, from time to time, there would be occasions. The last time I went to England was the occasion of Her Majesty's 90th birthday, and you then invited all Governors General present, 15 of us from all of the realms, and we were invited to have lunch with the Queen and so on. So there are those sorts of interactions, but not that there's a need for any daily interaction. The High Commissioner is normally the conduit in terms of any information that may be required.
The whole issue of the Queen and the argument that independent countries should swear allegiance to the Constitution and not the Queen. How do you explain that to people who suggest that if you're independent, you shouldn't be swearing allegiance to her Her Majesty and her heirs? And the issue of the Constitution and whether or not perhaps you can get an instruction from Her Majesty to say, Sir Tapley, you shall.
Well, the question about the oath, that is something that is progressive. Some of the territories in the region have done it by way of amending their constitution. it is something that I believe that will be addressed in the process. So that it would be, and Jamaica did it, St. Lucia did it, and it is something that I think is the way to go, if I could express a view, okay, without doing in any way showing any disrespect or anything else, but it's simply a recognition of the requirement of persons to pay allegiance to the state. You know, because the other one is something of a fiction, if you put it that way. You know, fiction in inverted commas. Okay, you know, but so that's a natural progression. And you know, I'd say, I think I've said enough on that to indicate that it's a progression. In terms of any directive, when you say that they say, so Tapley, you shall, that's the only thing in terms of if an honor is being conferred or anything else. I mean, when I was knighted, I had to go to the palace and, you know, to be tapped on the shoulder by the Queen and so on. But apart from that, there's no you shall. Okay, this is representative, we are independent, and we proceed accordingly.
Meanwhile, Governor General Sir S.W. Tapley Seaton is warning the public to beware of fraudsters posting online invitations or requests for funds in his name.
I should put on the record that I am not into the what has been out there, Facebook and all sorts of things. Something has been attributed to the Governor General featuring my photograph and so on, indicating that persons can contribute to some fund of some sort. And there's absolutely no basis to it. I think regrettably I have to adopt the well-used phrase of fake news, that, you know, there is no basis at all. So I'd want to put that on the record. Some of my colleagues in other countries have also had that situation. I've had to, you know, indicate very clearly that they're not at all connected to that. I know colleagues and friends have gotten in touch with me saying, we saw you and you made an appeal, and I said, absolutely not. You know, I'm not one of those to get into using the media in that way.
Former Olympic champion Kerry Potterst dropped a racial clangor during television coverage of the Commonwealth Games beach volleyball, saying Caribbean players looked like human lamingtons covered in sand. For those who don't know, a lamington is an Australian cake made from squares of butter cake or sponge cake coated in an outer layer of chocolate and sometimes dipped in coconut flakes. Potterst, an Order of Australia recipient and gold medalist at the Sydney Olympics, was commentating on the match between Australian duo Damien Schumann and Christopher McHugh and their opponents from St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Clair Hodge and Sean Seabrooks, when she said the Caribbean players resembled human lamingtons as they glistened with sweat and sand. Viewers were quick to condemn Potterst on social media, with some slamming host broadcaster Channel 7 on Twitter and Facebook. Quote, the commentator just said the dark skin from the player mixed with the sand made him look like a human lamington. Get that woman off the air, one viewer posted on Twitter. Your commentator called a volleyball player a human lamington? Seriously? Wrote another. Appalling commentary. Human lamington used by Channel 7 commentator for a St. Kitts and Nevis beach ball player? Absolutely appalling. Potterst later issued an apology, saying, today, at the Commonwealth Games beach volleyball, I made a comment I unreservedly apologize for and sincerely regret, she said. It was 100% not meant to offend. Australia won the match in straight sets, 21-3, 21-10.
Universal health care is not a luxury for the rich, but a necessity for all. That's the message from the World Health Organization, WHO, on World Health Day, observed Saturday, 7th April. According to the WHO, people should have access to disease prevention, treatment, rehabilitation, and care services without suffering financial hardship. The Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis' Junior Minister of Health, Senator Wendy Phipps.
It is no secret that our Team Unity administration would have campaigned strongly about providing universal health coverage to every individual in our country, simply because our people, 1, are our greatest asset, and 2, deserve to live their lives with dignity. This promise is being actively pursued, and steady progress has been made by a national commission to introduce the well-needed coverage, especially for persons who cannot afford the cost of their own care. Our Team Unity government also realizes that persons with critical illnesses could very well find themselves confronting serious financial challenges, as the cost of treatment could be prohibitive and can quickly wipe out one's life savings. The result is a major downward slide in an individual's socioeconomic status and can result in bankruptcy. Among such major illnesses confronting our people is kidney disease, given that the cost of hemodialysis can total almost 125,000 EC dollars per individual per year. Universal health coverage should make the cost of such health care more accessible and more affordable to patients.
For the WHO Director General, Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus, universal health care is a human right that governments worldwide have to address.
More than half of the world's population lacks access to essential health services, and almost 100 million people are pushed into extreme poverty every year because of the costs of paying for care out of their own pockets. This outrage must end. UHC is not a luxury that only rich countries can afford. From Botswana to Brazil, India to Iran, Kenya to Kyrgyzstan, and Sri Lanka to the Solomon Islands, evidence and experience show that all countries at all income levels can make progress with the resources they have. They also show us that there is no single path to UHC. All countries must find their own way in the context of their own social, political, and economic circumstances. UHC doesn't only improve health, it reduces poverty, creates jobs, spurs inclusive economic growth, and increases gender equality.
Senator Phipps, for her part, is encouraging people to prioritize medical checkups, regular exercise, and healthy lifestyles. She also explained that universal health care requires partnerships.
Is not simply a matter of making financial provision for the cost of health care to all persons, regardless of color, creed, gender, or social status. Provision of universal health coverage also means that governments must also ensure that there is gradual expansion in medical services, adequate investment in new medical technologies, plant, equipment, and infrastructure, necessary updating of medical legislation and regulations, and continued provision of traditional public health services such as safe water supply, immunization, and vector control to prevent diseases carried by mosquitoes, rodents, and other pests. It should be noted that wherever possible, the imperative for continuous improvement in medical and health services should be executed in partnership for maximum benefit. The government, the private sector, and donor agencies all have a role to play, since none of these entities can achieve our health and wellness goals independently.
This report from Observer Media Group in Antigua and Barbuda.
It's projected that the government will go to Parliament by the end of the year to pass laws allowing for the growing, harvesting, processing, and sale of medical marijuana. Legislation was recently passed permitting the possession of 15 grams of ganja and the growing of 4 cannabis plants per household. And the government's chief of staff, Lionel Maxhurst, says that the laws dealing with medical marijuana would likely make provisions for a board to issue licenses.
Much as there is a board for, say, issuing licenses for the possession of firearms or so, and they will decide who gets the license and under what conditions and so on. It's going to be very profitable, and as a consequence, there has to be some control over this, including, of course, the problem of predial theft, which bothers all farmers. So this is going to be a test of our wills and our ability to achieve something that is unusual.
The government is following the Canadian model, with 3 Canadians interested in growing medical marijuana coming to Antigua and Barbuda and appearing recently before the cabinet. The Gaston Brown administration is also looking to learn lessons from Jamaica, a regional trailblazer in allowing medical marijuana companies to operate there.
What we learned was that the Jamaicans decided to grant licenses to many people, and that has caused a clogging of their system because it requires a certain amount of supervision of the farm itself and the places where the medical cannabis is being grown. They just don't have the number of inspectors and so forth to do that. So they've had a little bit of a clogging system there. We're hoping that we don't encounter that kind of problem by being more circumspect in the number of licenses that are issued and the terms under which the licenses are issued.
Hearst says that despite decriminalizing the use of 15 grams of marijuana, the government is discouraging the smoking of marijuana.
We're not encouraging people to use marijuana. We make it very, very clear that smoking substances is just not good for you. I know that there are some who might be surprised at this kind of a response. We made it very clear. You heard the debate in the Parliament. You're not to use this thing in public. This is intended for private use in your own home. What the law says is that you're allowed 15 grams for your own personal use, and you're not to use it in public. So if you want to disobey the law, you go right ahead and take your chances.
The Government Chief of Staff, Lionel Max Hearst.
This report from Al Jazeera.
3 generations of Nui Jaw's family are out cleaning up plastic along the mouth of the Yangtze River, one of the worst spots in the world for plastic pollution.
I'm here to protect the ocean. There's a lot of trash on the beach. We saw a video where a turtle inhaled a straw and it bled a lot when people tried to help get the straw out of its nose, littering a dangerous marine species.
One of the biggest plastic consumers in the world, China's numbers are staggering. For instance, package delivery services in 2016 used 14 billion plastic bags. And with the rapid increase of food delivery options, it's estimated that 60 million plastic containers are used each day. Many cannot be recycled. One campaigner at the environmental group that organizes these volunteer cleanup outings says people seeing the pollution drives the message home.
I think we can look beyond the numbers when we're talking about the marine waste to the public. Statistics are very abstract. It's easier to bring them here to see with their own eyes and participate in activities like this. That's a more direct way to make the public realize the severity of the problem.
According to an environmental journal, the Yangtze River and its tributaries here carries 1.5 million tons of plastics into the sea each year. The river passes through some of China's biggest cities, the last one here in Shanghai, before it meets the East China Sea. And then the plastic makes its way to the Pacific Ocean. Nature magazine recently reported that what's known as the Great Pacific Garbage Patch is much larger than previously thought, twice the size of France and containing 79,000 tons of plastic. China's Environmental Protection Ministry admits there's a big problem and recently announced that a restructuring plan is in the works.
The plan will create better conditions for fighting the uphill battles against pollution and improving ecological environment. We're obliged, responsible, and have every reason to do a better job in coming days.
And the pace of that job needs to quicken, as scientists predict that if the flow of plastic into the oceans is not slowed, by 2050, the amount of plastic in the oceans will outweigh the fish. Scott Heidler, Al Jazeera, Shanghai.
The Headline News was brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, The Grange, KDP Enterprises, FamCare, Subway, Carib Brewery, and CNC Trading.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world. Whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous, you can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air. We get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises, telephone number 466-9595.
Every country has a story of its own, and the people who live there are the ones that tell it best.
This is God Country!
Come to Subway and eat fresh. Try our daily specials. That's right, we have a special every day at Subway. Come in today and eat fresh. Stay healthy.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts, offering 24-hour nursing, therapeutic, and residential care for older adults? It's situated at Otley, 7 miles east of Vastair in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodation to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020, fax 466-8221, or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com, or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secure. Oh, oh, oh. Deal while win and go. People you can try. It's not free. 30 days in April. Stick with me. Take a pick on the discount. Percentage free. 30 to 50 off comprehensive premium. And if you got a third party, take the maximum. You got 10 days. Use it as you wish. Alternative transport, not a penny to your list. You get a brand new ride if your car's written off within the first 12 months. Tell me how does that sound? Yeah, yeah. Sounds good, doesn't it? It don't stop there, cause I ain't really finished yet. Call the group up, tell them it's okay. We can ride free, knowing medical is in our lane. No additional cost. So whether it's the act of God or a critical loss, tomorrow we're secured cause we got you on our minds. People you can trust, you can hold it to your dime.
Ride free this Easter. Contact the Little Walwyn in St. Kitts, 465-2631, or in Nevis, 469-5303. Conditions apply.
Ride free.
Is your hair thinning, shedding, or breaking? BioCare Labs has researched the causes of split ends, thinning, dry, and brittle hair, and has developed a product to solve these weak hair problems. We call it Strong Ends Products. If you desire to grow strong, healthy hair, Strong Ends Products is your solution. Formulated with potent natural ingredients like honey and shea butter to deposit and retain moisture, castor and almond oil for scalp and roots, and aloe vera and coconut milk for strength. Try the full line of Strong Ends hair products and grow healthy, beautiful hair.
Strong Ends, sold locally by CNC Trading on the CAP Southwell Industrial Site. Telephone 465-4081.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM. Win FM weather.
Today's weather comes to you with the kind compliments of TDC and Sweet Cane.
When is the last time that you've had lunch or dinner away from home? The ambience of Sweet Cane on Port Zante provides you with that touch. Sweet Cane daily specials include burgers, wraps, soup, and tasty seafood dishes. Sweet Cane also caters for events and special parties. Call our Sweet Cane hotline at 465-4345 or 665-7628. Sweet Cane, they've got the touch.
Imagine a place that has all that you need, all of the things for your business to succeed. Furniture, copiers, laptops and more. TDC Business Center is your #1 store. Print and copy and scan and fax. Our copy center does all of that. If you're having a party and you need chairs and tents, you've got all your needs and grand rentals for rent. The TDC Business Center has everything your business needs. Superior copy and printing services, business equipment and furniture, and a wide array of renting materials for all occasions. TDC Business Center, providing solutions that work.
A moderate to fresh trade wind flow generated by a relatively strong high-pressure ridge will continue to transport shallow pockets of low-level moisture across the islands at times, thus maintaining a moderate chance of showers over and around the islands. Today, partly sunny skies with a 40% or moderate chance of brief passing showers. Tonight, fair to partly cloudy, skies with a 50% or moderate chance of more quick passing showers. Winds east-northeast at 12 to 18 knots. Seas moderate to locally rough swells 1.5 to 2.1 meters or 5 to 7 feet. Small craft operators and seabathers are asked to exercise caution when venturing out to sea. Sunset today at 6:26 p.m., sunrise tomorrow at 5:59 a.m. That's your weather forecast for today. Comes to the kind compliments of TDC and Sweet Cane.
Reliability, performance, longevity. This is how you know that Yamaha outboard motors are the best choice. With superior performance and efficiency, Yamaha outboard motors offer the greatest value on water. Yamaha outboard motors. Reliability starts here. Get yours today at the TDC Automotive Divisions for as low as $100 per week. Or buy it cash and get $750 cash back, free gas vouchers, and much more. Plus, earn big bucks with every successful referral made. Visit TDC Automotive today. Terms and conditions apply.
When is the last time that you've had lunch or dinner away from home? The ambience of Sweet Cane on Port Zante provides you with that touch. Sweet Cane daily specials include burgers, wraps, soup, and tasty seafood dishes. Sweet Cane also caters for events and special parties. Call our Sweet Cane hotline at 465-4345 or 665-7628. Sweet Cane, they've got the touch.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Okay, welcome back to the second half of Voices. Voices is a program that is sponsored. For the second half, our sponsors are Flo Courts, SL Hosford, and KFC.
My phone is my everything. It's where I make plans. See you at 7. It makes me laugh.
When Africans go to the bank, I would like to say hi to my money and leave.
Lets me share my happiest moments and hear a comforting voice when I need it most. It'll be all right. It's like a best friend. That's why I get everything out of my phone with a Flo prepaid combo plan.
Save up to 95% on data, talk and text on the fastest and most reliable 4G LTE network. The bigger you go, the bigger you save. So activate your Flo prepaid combo plan today and get your best friend everything.
Get big rewards with Quartz. It's easy. Just update your existing Quartz Ready finance account, and you could be the winner of a 32-inch TV. You heard right. Update your current credit account for a chance to win a 32-inch TV. Other prizes to be won. Offer valid until March 31st. Terms and conditions apply. See in-store for details. Get big rewards. Update your account for a chance to win. Only at Quartz. Quartz, bringing value home.
The brand new flexible FlexPay plan at Hosford's. We're giving you an easy, flexible payment plan at Furniture and Appliances, Building Centers, and Ashley Furniture Home Store. FlexPay, flexible financing that fits your budget, lifestyle, and goals. At Furniture and Appliances in Ashley Furniture Home Store, you choose money down or not. As little as 3 months to pay, interest-free. If you need more time, customize your FlexPay plan to suit your budget. Need 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, or 4? It's your FlexPay plan. Make a down payment as little as 20% and take as long as 24 months to pay with FlexPay. It's your plan. All you need are 2 IDs and a current job letter to qualify. Terms and conditions apply. See stores for details.
How does it feel when you got that feeling? You got the flavor you love. How does it feel when you know you're not dreaming? There is nothing above.
How you feel when things come together? How you feel when everything nice? How you feel when you savor the flavor, the feeling you get when you taste every bite?
Okay, welcome back. For those of you who are just tuning in, my name is Sandra Queely Atherton. I'm the host for Voices Today, Monday. We have had some wonderful discussions for the first half. We hope to continue for the second half. We have callers online. Let's go to the phone lines and take this call. Caller, can you turn
Hello?
your
Yes. Hello?
Hi.
Yes, good day and greetings in the name of Jesus Christ, the only Lord and God and Savior of mankind, the second person of the Trinity. Now, first of all, I would like to say, concerning some
Can you
stuff that were
turn your
mentioned this
radio,
morning.
caller? Can you turn your radio in the background down, please?
Yes,
Thank
yes.
you.
I've turned off the radio. I've turned off the radio.
Okay.
First of all, I would like to say, concerning some issue that was raised this morning. You said this morning that the earth is billions of years old. But that is not true. The earth is no more than 7,000 years old. And there are many reasons to say, but most of all, the Bible teaches that the earth is no more than 7,000 years old.
Where in the Bible,
when you add up
caller?
the genealogies.
Can you tell me where in the Bible?
When you add up the genealogies in the Gospel of Matthew, in the Gospel of Luke.
You're talking about the restoration. You're talking about the restoration, not the actual age of Earth. You're talking about the restoration of Earth.
Hello?
You're talking about the restoration of Earth, not the actual.
No. Both in the Gospel of Matthew, in the Gospel of Luke, they give the genealogy of Jesus Christ, and I think it is in Luke. The genealogy goes back to Adam. The genealogy goes back to Adam.
Adam was the restoration of Earth. That was not the beginning of Earth.
No, it wasn't about the restoration. It was about the genealogy of Jesus Christ to show why he is qualified to sit on David's throne, and to show why he was a human like us, and to show that he was a son of Adam.
That's according to Christian religion. According to Christianity, Earth was being restored in the time of Adam. Why I say that? Look at what the Bible said when he said to Adam and Eve, go and replenish the earth. So it's obvious that there was a situation before, and God recreated Adam and Eve, and earth had to be replenished. So you're talking about going back, so your 7 years is going back to the time of Adam you're talking about then.
No, what happened is that the word replenish, it does not mean to repopulate, you know.
It means?
The word replenish means to populate. When you go to the Hebrew word and you look up the meaning of the Hebrew word that is translated as replenish, it does not mean to repopulate, it means to populate. You see, in the 1600s, the word re was used in a stylistic way, not to mean again. But today in modern English, we don't use the word re to mean again. But it was not necessarily so in the 1600s. It was used in a stylish way.
Oh, okay. Before Adam and Eve time, you know, there was a situation. There was a war in heaven. That's before Adam and Eve time, and Satan was cast on in earth. You know that before, if you read the Bible.
Nowhere in the Bible teaches that.
No.
Nowhere in the Bible teaches. If there was a war in heaven, it had to have happened after the earth was created. It had to have happened after creation week. That is when
that was before Adam and Eve was created. Remember, the devil tempted Adam and Eve. So something must have happened before for the devil to become the tempter, and Adam and Eve to become the tempted.
I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you. But it happened somewhere between the first day of creation and when he tempted Adam. It happened somewhere between there. The Bible ain't tell us specifically.
Definitely. So neither you or I can argue that one.
The time that elapsed between the first day of creation and the temptation, it could have been many years elapsed. We don't know how much time had elapsed.
And that's why I'm disputing your statement about the earth is only about 7,000 years old, because we don't know what the Bible didn't give an account for what happened before.
Yeah, but the thing is, the normal creation days of creation week was normal 7 24-hour days. And so therefore you do not have any gap anywhere to say, well then, okay, in this gap could have been millions of years or whatever. It was a straight continuous thing from day one come down to now with normal 24-hour days. So therefore, the earth, when you add up the genealogies and the days that were normal days, the earth cannot be any more than 7,000 years old.
Cool. What about the fossil fuels? What about the fossils? What about the skeletons that they're finding, the dinosaurs and all that time? It was before man time.
You see, that's the thing about it. When it comes to science, there is no sure and certain way of dating the earth, because you have to be back then to know if your theories are correct. For example, the dating of the earth, these methods that they use, most of the methods that they use to date the earth say that the earth is just a few thousand years old. For example, there is not enough salt in the seawater for the earth to be millions, let alone billions of years. Not only that, carbon-14 cannot last in the earth no more than 300,000 years old, and yet we are having carbon-14 in the earth, so therefore the earth cannot be millions of years old. Now, when it comes to fossils, they use carbon-14 to date fossils. Well, the fossils are millions of years old, how come they have carbon-14 in them? And by the way, carbon-14 could only date within the region of thousands of years.
That's what science says.
Millions of years.
Oh, that's what science says. And so you're saying, one time you're saying science cannot say this, and then you're going back to science. We don't have the information.
No, I'm not going back to science to rely on science. I'm showing you that how people are misinterpreting what they hear and think that they know what science says, which science does not say. Because science does not say that the fossils are millions of years old. What they do, they date certain rocks, they date the rocks, them and the sort of stuff that the fossils are found in. And because they use a type of dating that will give them millions of years old, they assume that the fossils were also in the rocks for millions of years old. But when you date the fossils, then we carbon-14, and so because carbon-14 they used to date the fossils, you do not get millions of years. But irrespective, most of the dating that they use to date the Earth only date the Earth to be a few thousand years. So this show you that when it comes to dating the Earth, in sense, it's very contradictory. It's very contradictory and very unreliable.
So
and the consensus of the dating methods, most of them, is really just a few thousand years old. But what they do, the scientists, because a lot of them are evolutionists and believe in millions of years old, they throw out all of these evidence. They throw out all this quote-unquote scientific evidence that just said that the Earth is a few thousand years old, and they go with the 1 or 2% that say that the Earth is billions of years old. And that is what's going on in the name of science.
So what you're saying now,
it's pushing an agenda. But either way, the only reliable dating of the Earth is found in the Bible.
Where?
And it is in the Bible that I go with as to the dating of the Earth. But if somebody wants to argue sense, then this is what I have to bring to them, what sense really says.
So we're in the Bible. We're in the Bible that talks about the beginning of the Earth. What year? When it started?
Genesis chapter 1, verse 1 starts the creation week. Now, like I said, you have the genealogies in Matthew and in Luke, and I think the one in Luke goes back to Adam. And when you add it up, it's no more than 7,000 years. And Adam was created on the sixth day. So therefore, you know directly that the earth is no more than 7,000 years old because Adam was created on the
man
sixth
is
day.
no more. No.
No.
Man is no more than 6,000 years old. Humans, if you want to say that, human beings have not been in existence for more than 6,000 years. If you want to make that statement, but the earth has been in existence long before that. So if you want to talk about the creation of man has not been in existence before for more than 7,000 years old, well, fine, but you can't talk about Earth being in existence because Earth was there long before then.
But like I said, if you go on science, if a person wants to realize science, most of the dating methods say that the Earth is only a few thousand years old. But if you're going on the Bible, and Adam was created on the sixth day on creation week, and creation week was the same 24 hours every day, then therefore, and when you add the genealogies, go back to Adam, we get from today, go back to Adam, because we are 2,000 years removed from Jesus Christ. And when you add the genealogy from Jesus Christ, go back, as we find them in the Gospel, to Adam. When you add both today and the genealogies in the Bible, you come up with no more than 7,000.
So, Carla, you're saying that God took 7 days to create Earth and human. That's you're 7 days.
Well, actually, 6 days.
6 days? You take 6
days.
Six
Right.
24-hour day? 6 24-hour day? 6 24-hour day?
Right. Exactly. That is why each day have a number for the second day, and not only that, but each day have morning and evening. So
but
God was going to the extra length to telling us, hey, these are normal days.
But God said, they say, according to the Bible, where God is concerned, a day could be 1,000 years. And the Bible did say that.
1,000 years could be a day. So
yeah,
you can't
said that.
You can't sleep back out.
It's 1,000 years.
I don't know what
can.
But that scripture in context is showing you. It wasn't telling you about how old the earth is. That context of scripture was telling you God exists outside of time.
Okay, Colin, make your point, please.
He's not limited to time as we are limited. That is what that particular scripture
make
is
your
telling
point,
you.
please. Make your point, please. You have
But
other callers online.
Quickly, as well. When it comes to gods and goddesses, people misunderstand. Now in Jeremiah chapter 7 that the gentleman mentioned, verses 16 to 20 is the context of the passage, and God is telling Israel, I'm punishing you because like the pagans you have adopted gods and goddesses and baked into the queen of heaven and the sort of stuff. And God told the Israel in the first commandment, you shall not have any God other than me. And God also told the Israelites when he was carrying them into the promised land, destroy these people because they have false God, and don't marry them because they have false God. They might turn your children and you to sow in these false gods, which happened to Solomon. So these things about false, these things about gods and goddesses and this sort of stuff are false because the Bible says there is only one God. And that is the God of the Bible. That is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob,
Okay.
the God of Israel.
Thank you for...
And the God of the Bible.
Okay, thank you for making that point. Then Jesus is not a God. Jesus is God. Then let's take this other caller. Caller, your live on voices.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon, Sanjo.
Hi, good
I
afternoon.
see you touched upon a topic I kind of understand, which is I understand. I'd like to tell Greg, pseudoscience and actual science are two different.
Caller? I think we would have lost that caller. Hello? We have lost that caller. Let's take another call. Caller, you live on voices.
Yeah, good day, Sandra.
Hi.
Two things quickly. First of all, Greg needs to understand there's a difference between evolution and the way the universe began. Both are separate things. So even if there are scientists that believe in evolution, that has nothing to do with how they believe the Earth began. And the second thing, he talks about carbon-14, and he's asking, well, to explain carbon-14 if the world is more than 6,000 years old. Then he also needs to explain lead, because it takes about 4.5 million years for uranium to decay into lead. So he needs to explain lead. If the Earth is only 6,000 years old, then we wouldn't have lead. So
Okay.
there you go.
Thank you all for your information. I'm learning. That's what Voice is all
Thank you.
about. Thank you. We have scholars and learned people out there. Let's go to the phone line and take this. We would have lost that caller again. Okay, that's what I like about hosting this program. I learned so much, and you're never too old to learn. And I suppose that's one of the good things about it. But we have to go back to the phone lines and take this call. Caller, you're live on Voices.
Hey, good afternoon, Mrs. Atherton.
Hi, good afternoon, Carl.
Mrs. Atherton,
Mm-hmm.
you see this thing where we love to cherish these foreign investors because of a few $1 million of projects. They're going to buy out everything in this federation. And you know what they're going to do us very soon, Mrs. Atherton? They're going to put us on a piece of land by ourselves, and they're going to have nothing to do with us.
Not me, no. Or you, not me.
And you see all those gated communities that we are loving them to have here. You see the Dr. Kennedy Simmons Highway. I've been telling them this for years. They're going to put a gate right down there by the road to go by the strip, and you're going to have to pay a toll to go over there. You see, on the Frigate Best Strip, two gates is going there sometime soon, and we're going to have to pay a toll to go over there to party.
That's not going to happen, Carl.
You see a couple of years ago we will have to be making noise every day on the radio with the forwardness about the music disturbing them. And the thing is that the government of the day and the police were on their side against our own people, and they commit this strip there. We ain't reached nowhere yet, Mrs. Harmony. Sorry, Mrs. Attorney. You know the next thing gonna happen? We're gonna have an election here. One election. An Indian going to be our prime minister.
The born here.
Chinese going to be the deputy prime minister. A Guyanese is going to be the minister of tourism. And a Jamaican is going to be our education minister. Not even a PS. We in St. Kitts Nevis is going to get in that government.
Okay.
And you know what is going to be happening to us? We are going to get the jobs them that we keep rushing for. Cleaning, cutting grass, washing dishes, cleaning toilets, right? And then you're going to be working for less than minimum wage. And we can't do a thing about it. Because St. Kitts Nevis, we won't have no say, we won't have no input, and we won't have, and the name will be changed. It won't be named St. Kitts Nevis anymore. They will find a name to put on it. You see how down there we have Fort Zante? You see what is happening to us? You see what they don't say? They don't say the Dr. Kennedy Simmons Highway, you know? They say the Southeast Peninsula. You see what is happening to us? Right? It's just a few more years. And St. Kitts Nevis will have no establishment in the world because they are going to change the name of this federation. The people of St. Kitts Nevis, the next thing they're going to be doing us is chasing us out of here. because they're going to tell you you have no right.
Okay.
You are begging to stay here. Go on, Mrs.
Thank you for your thank you for your contribution. We have another caller online. Caller, let's hear from you.
Hello?
Hi.
Yes. Yes. I'd like to answer a question that was asked. He called about lead turning to uranium, which is billions of years, and we won't have any lead if the Earth was just a few thousand years. But that is the point. I said earlier, there are 1 or 2% methods that are quote-unquote scientific that are saying that the Earth are billions of years old. The uranium/lead method of dating is in that 1 or 2% of the measuring of the Earth to say that the Earth is billions of years old. But 90+% of the other methods of dating the Earth say that the Earth is just a few thousand years old. Some of them even say the Earth is just a few million years old, but most of them is saying that the Earth is just a few thousand years old.
Greg, you're saying this world just started?
I'm saying all I'm saying, what I'm saying is that based on the Bible, the Earth is no more than 7,000 years old.
Based on the Christian religion, we talk about creation. Let's not go there, Greg. I mean, honestly, it really doesn't make sense to me, and I really don't want that for me. I know it's voices and for your contribution, but it doesn't have any facts. You're saying what the Bible's saying in opposed to what science is saying, and it's just confusing more people than anything else. But you
see, the thing is, we must hear all sides. Okay?
Yeah, but you have tried to explain your side, and for me, it's just not making any sense. Sorry to say that.
But no, because you are already
brainwashed.
Believe in that the Earth is billions of years old. That's why it's not making sense too. But what I'm saying is that if you're going to go and say, if you're going to reject the Bible and you're going to go and science, what I'm saying is that most of the dating methods, most of them, 90+% of the dating methods, say that the Earth is just a few thousand years old.
So let me ask you a question. How long did Adam and Eve stay in the Garden of Eden then? A day?
How long they stay in the Garden of Eden?
A day?
I don't think it was more than a day because
you said the Bible tells you.
When the apple, God came to them, and within the same day, He threw them out of the garden.
No.
More than a day.
But the Bible said that there are times that God would visit Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, and He would talk to them, and He would teach them. So go back and read the Bible and see if that's not what He says. Because hold
on. Yes, God did talk about what I am saying.
So it could have been a day?
The Bible gives us the age of Adam. The Bible tells us Adam was 900+ years old, okay? That's what the Bible tells us. So we can calculate when Adam was born. So we can calculate the age of Adam and the age of those who came after him up to Jesus Christ in the genealogies. And when you add them all up, including the age of Adam, we know that the earth is no more than 7,000 years old.
I don't understand what you're saying, but we have other. It's only fair that we take other calls, and we have other callers waiting online. Greg, that was your contribution. Let's take this other call. Caller, you're live on Voices.
Yes, good afternoon.
Hi.
I just listened to Kyle, right? And the way how Kyle is talking, right? So Kyle is telling me he's going to vote for an Indian prime minister then, because then he take a vote for that Indian to become the prime minister. So he plan on giving that Indian that vote. And all those others that he talk about. I mean, the people of Sinkis have to elect them. Ain't that the way it go? And you see, the power of life and death is in your tongue. And if you decide, you say it out your mouth, you release some things in the atmosphere. And people are listening, Kyle. So it's up to the people of Sinkis to stay there in Sinkis and let people come and want to take over their country. It's up to us at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, you put government in office. And just like how you can put them in, you can remove them. That's the right you have. That's what your vote does. So don't sit there in Sinkis and let people complain, and let people come in and take over the country and then complain about it. You have a right. You vote. You put them in. You take them out. Isn't that what your vote is for, Kyle? And the fact that you can tell me they're going to be an Indian prime minister, I mean, you plan on voting for Indian in the future. But in any case, right? What was I going to say? This thing about arguing about the Bible and all this thing, I will implore everyone, the point is to live for Jesus so you can make it into heaven, because we sing a song, you'll understand it better by and by, and the only time you'll understand, just live so you can understand it. Live this life to live again. That's the most important thing. All the debates and the debates and the debates, if you ain't living for God, it's really a waste of time anyway. So live so you can understand it better by and by. You have a good day.
Thank you for your contribution. We know that the program is sponsored. For the second half is Flow, Courts, SL Horsford, and the KFC.
Shopping is a lot easier with Courts Ready Finance. Choose what you want from our wide range of quality products, and we take care of the rest. Courts Ready Finance's affordability means there's no deposit. There's no need for a lump sum of cash. It's flexible, which means you choose your payment term and you're guaranteed the lowest monthly payments anywhere. Best of all, it's easy. Easy to get and easy to pay. Shop at Courts today and get what you want hassle-free. Courts Ready Finance. Easy, affordable, flexible.
Imagine you have Hollywood at your command. Introducing Flow Evo. Anywhere you are,
Everything creeping through the night. Big girls don't scream hard like Halloween. Make me feel alive.
there's a world of entertainment here, and you run the show. Flow Evo.
Make it yours for less with FlexPay Home Makeover Edition. Make it yours for less with Horsford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store with our new FlexPay financing. FlexPay financing that fits your budget, lifestyle, and goals. Flex with no money down and pay in 3 months interest-free, or customize a FlexPay plan to suit your budget with terms starting at 4 months to 4 years. Furniture, yours for less. Appliances, yours for less. Decor, yours for less. Get our 6-piece Moments bedroom set for $42.25 weekly. Magnum gas stove with Daewoo refrigerator for $35 weekly. Sanford dining set with microwave, only $23.50 weekly, and so much more. Hospice Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store. 2 stores, 1 home where you can make it yours with FlexPay financing. Terms and conditions apply. See stores for details.
How does it feel when you got that feeling? You got the flavor you love. How does it feel when you know you're not dreaming? There is nothing above.
How you feel when things come together? How you feel when everything nice? How you feel when you savor the flavor, the feeling you get when you taste every bite?
Welcome back. We have a situation, like I said, over in Frigate Bay area, and we have to, sometimes we have to take time out and reflect. We know that negotiation can work, and I just think it's not the big truck mentality that we have to apply. We can sit down like human beings and we can decide the way forward instead of having everybody lamenting on the situation. You were there on the outside, you had a problem with it. Now that you're on the inside, you're basically doing the same thing what the people there first doing. You have to change your modus operandi. Let's go to the phone line. I think we have a call. We don't have a call. Okay, great. We have to change your modus operandi. That's what you said. You're going to make it different. If there's a problem, if you think it's necessary to raise the rent, then have a discussion. You just don't go in and tell people this is the situation. It's no big shoes, not because you're in the hot seat or the big seat, as you claim to say that you're in. You can just go around and you can just bulldoze people into signing contract. That's not the way it goes. Mr. Boncampo, I think you need to reassess and readdress the situation and bring calm and peace to the entire situation that we have right now. Let's go to the phone lines and take this call. Caller, you're live on Voices.
Yeah, afternoon, Sandra. Yeah, I was saying that the difference with science and the Bible, 2 people could read the Bible and never agree on the same thing. Science, they have something called consensus. Almost 50% of all the scientists don't agree. They go back to peer review, check one another's work until they come to something called consensus.
Caller, we are having problems hearing you. It is posing a problem. I don't know if it's where you're at, but we would have lost you again. My thing is, we are on earth. We need to start to live in love, start to embrace and unity. That is something that we have to start living. We are fighting against each other. Sooner or later, we're going to go anyways. Let's take this call. Caller, you're live on Voices.
Sanjo.
Yay.
Good day once again.
Mm-hmm.
Sanjo, let me say this, right? It appears as though when you vote for a government, or when you vote for an opposition and they become the government, that is it.
Mm-hmm.
For them, they become the government.
It's a change of shoes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You're obsolete now. And if you was out there as an activist, you should not say nothing because they put you on a board and you're getting $1,300 a month for being on a board. But let me say this now, Sanjo. I prefer any day to be on the people's side, the poor people's side, rather than getting $1,300 a month.
Come like me, Terry. Be on the people's
I
side.
prefer to be on the people's side.
It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. We are poor people. It doesn't hurt. I'm not getting no pain
I prefer
either.
to be on the poor people's side.
But then
and when I went after Denzel Douglas, I went after him for transparency, good government, integrity in public life, and freedom of information. We as a government, Sanjo, must not be suppressing our people. We are suppressing the same people that went out there and voted for us and voted for change.
True.
Those are some of the people we're going after.
It's true. I don't
Sanjo,
know. I don't know
let me
which
tell you
side to
something,
go
right?
on.
I was on the SKN list.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote something. You asked me to speak it up. And he put a spin in it. And Douglas responded on the radio, asked the PM. And he mentioned my name. And so I can't do nothing. And I threatened him. The truth is I did not threaten the honorable man. I comment on something of a statement that he spoke about McKnight. He looked at us as being a slum and just being a people who creating confusion and crime. Took him up on it. And I said to him, welcome to McKnight. Come to McKnight. He said, that was a threat. But it was not a threat. We are a people who are cliquey. And we will teach any government, any, when they're coming after us.
But you know, Terry, though, it's in all fairness, it is one man. And you see, when one man make a decision, the whole government suffer. And this is what I always say. When you put people in position, you have to make sure that they're capable and that they don't have an agenda. And we see people who have agenda who put government in bad light.
Sanjo, that is why you must have intervention. These people listened to us while we were in opposition. Now they become the government. They're closing off the ears from us.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I under the boss.
Why? And I'm asking the question, why? Think its people has become a bit relapsed.
Not that relapse. You know what I find about Kittitians and Sinks and Nevis people on the whole? Everybody is looking for handouts. And everybody would sell their conscience because of the fact at the end of the day, they're going to benefit. And I have no respect for people like that. That's why I'm going to be who I am.
I'm going to say something lastly. We accuse Dr. Douglas for sending us out on the peninsula. And I believe it was a bad deal. Peninsula was a bad deal. Are you telling me, because Douglas sold us out, we're going to continue with the selling out?
No, we fought against that. We voted against that.
We want to stop it.
Yeah.
That's what we voted for, to stop it and correct it. And don't come and tell me no foolishness about their private lands. The government can acquire lands in the name of the people. So don't come and tell me this, Mr. Prime Minister. I don't want Lindsey Grant tell me this either. About Camper. Or you stop the foolishness. Don't tell me we continuing what Douglas did. He said we're going to stop it. Stop it, and we need answers.
Terry, you need a platform. And
If
honestly,
people is going to have the day.
but you need a platform.
you take care.
Yeah, you do likewise. You have another call online. Let's take this call. Caller, you're live on Voices. Hello?
Yes, good afternoon, hostess.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hostess, good afternoon, and to the listeners. Now, the Southeast Peninsula have been a very sensitive area. And for my part, really, what gone by the morning can come good at evening. I do believe, however, that for one to believe that government can go and acquire private land willy-nilly and expect that they will not give an account internationally, it have far-reaching effect. Because I can recall in Navy something was done like that. And it caused some real bad publicity overseas in regards to investors, that there is no guarantee that when you have a property in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, government come in high-handedly and acquire it.
But it's a fact. Government can acquire private land.
Yes, but you got to know your boundaries.
Well, of course, but it's a fact. With knowing the boundaries or not, it's a fact that government can do that.
Well, it is. If you want a road to build, a road or a school, something to that effect. But if you have people who invest in acquiring a property, government could just move in and acquire, take people and things like that. It have far-reaching effect. Nobody going to want to come here and buy a property when government have a record to just go high-handedly to acquire people property. This is the democracy. This country is a democracy.
But Carlo, I don't understand what you're alluding to, though. What statement are you alluding to? Why you make the fact that's
yeah, because I am hearing the comment that government could go and acquire land.
No, but it's
but I know it happened in Nevis.
But it's totally out of the context.
And it had some far-reaching effect. However, let me say this. I've been following the event in Australia briefly. And it seemed to me there is always a clash of culture when it comes to the Australian and the West Indian. I can recall, really, when Chris Gale was interviewed by a reporter in Australia, he made a joke, really, and apparently invited out for a drink. And they took offense in regard to Chris Gale. Now, if Chris Gale had done this in the Caribbean, I mean, it would have gone really without even notice. But you had people like Ian Chappell and those calling for the head of Gale. Huh? Yeah. And this lady, I mean, Sean Sibooks, I must congratulate he and his partner for playing the game in this true spirit, even though they lost, making St. Kitts Nevis great. Not like those Australian cheaters, Smith, Warner, and the other young 25-year-old. Embarrass the country there in South Africa. When I look at how they were doing with that ball, with sandpaper, it was a shame, a disgrace. And you don't hear the Australians make too much noise about that. If it was the West Indies and Pakistan, you will hear them Australian wailing and moaning. But here you got one of the best players, if not the best player in the world, in Smith, the vice captain, Warner. Corruption. One wonder how long they've been doing these, because these are two senior players. Recruiting a young fella, 25-year-old now, he must carry on. We had the left half, he must now carry on.
We've heard about ball tampering. We've heard about ball tampering all these years. Since I've been listening and looking at cricket, I mean, ball tampering has been an issue.
But this was the worst, this was the highest. I mean, this is the day when you have cameras. Huh? cameras and the exposing them. I mean, this is what a shameful act. So I must commend C. Brooks, Sean, and the other partner. I mean, it's ironic why Sean have to be now. He's a newsman making news internationally. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your contribution. Let's say from our sponsors, it's Flo, Courts, SL Horsford, and KFC. They're the sponsors for the second half. We'll hear from them, then we'll come back and we'll continue our discussion.
It's April's Tools Month again at Horsford's Building Centre on St. Kitts and Nevis. Don't miss out on the year's best time to buy tools. Get 25% off on selected tools store-wide. Hundreds of tools on sale, slashed up to 25%, including Stanley Utility Knife, $29.51, 6-piece screwdriver set, $54.01, 128-piece socket set for as low as $276.41, Mag Torch self-lighting, $204.31, Handsaw toolbox, $83.54, Hacksaw shell frame, $21.36, and so much more. Up to 25% off on tools for this April's Tools Month at Horswood's Building Centre on St. Kitts and Nevis. Promotion ends April 30th. Horswood's Building Centre, the Federation's favorite home improvement store. Some exclusions apply. See stores for details.
My phone is my everything. It's where I make plans. You at 7. It makes me laugh.
When Africans go to the bank, I would like to say hi to my money and leave.
Lets me share my happiest moments and hear a comforting voice when I need it most. It'll be all right. It's like a best friend. That's why I get everything out of my phone with a Flow prepaid combo plan.
Save up to 95% on data, talk and text on the fastest and most reliable 4G LTE network. The bigger you go, the bigger you save. So activate your Flow prepaid combo plan today and get your best friend everything.
How does it feel when you got that feeling? You got the flavor you love. How does it feel when you know you're not dreaming? There is nothing above.
How you feel when things come together? How you feel when everything nice? How you feel when you savor the flavor, the feeling you get when you taste every bite?
Shopping is a lot easier with Courts Ready Finance. Choose what you want from our wide range of quality products, and we take care of the rest. Courts Ready Finance's affordability means there's no deposit. There's no need for a lump sum of cash. It's flexible, which means you choose your payment term and you're guaranteed the lowest monthly payments anywhere. Best of all, it's easy. Easy to get and easy to pay. Shop at Courts today and get what you want hassle-free. Courts Ready Finance. Easy, affordable, flexible.
Okay, welcome back. Discussions. Yeah, there's areas that we have to really pay some very close attention to. Otherwise, the problems that what we're trying to avoid is exactly what's going to happen to us. Let's go to the phone lines and take this call. Caller, you're live on Voices.
Yes, good afternoon, Sandra.
Hey.
Yeah, I'd like to ask Gregory, I'll just give him some homework. When we're talking about Noah's Ark, how could 8 people, Noah, his wife, 3 sons, 3 daughters-in-law, build a vessel basically as big as a modern-day cruise ship without any kind of cranes or anything for heavy lifting, could feed animals that probably in the thousands for 40 days or 40 nights, take into consideration that some of those animals eat meat. So how they ain't turn on Noah and the family are the other animals on the ark, and how did they get the animals that lived all the way on the other side of the earth and others have to cross oceans to get to them and bring them and put them on the ark? That's science for you, Greg. That is not pseudoscience. So if you could give me some straightforward answers for those questions, I would give him the win. The Bible is right. The Bible is all knowledge. And I would not challenge him again. Okay. Thank you, Sandra.
Thank you. I hope Greg can give you his telephone number, because I sure wouldn't want to be sitting in this seat when Greg is answering your questions. I hope Greg will give you his telephone number and you all can have that discussion and then come back with the results. Let's go to the phone line and take this call. Caller, you're live on Voices. Can you turn your radio down, please? Thank you. We would have lost that caller. Well, pseudoscience, evolution, resurrection, people, it's a discussion that you'll have for the rest of your life. For me, we are here. We're here to live and we're here to die. Enjoy life because we're going to die. Let's take this call from caller
I'm
11.
glad I got back in before you close your program.
Yeah.
And the retired police sergeant who once run the traffic department, I wonder if he had been following the discussion throughout the morning. I don't think so. Sanjo, let me tell you something, yeah? Maybe he can ask Dr. Bade what happened to his land the next time he visits.
Yep.
I think it's from Canada. Maybe he can ask our national hero, living national hero, if he did acquire lands in the name of the people. Maybe he can go across by the Trades and Labor Union and find out if Robert Bratcher did that. I was just making the point, Sanjo, to emphasize that when politicians come in to tell us about private land, government has such power and authority to acquire lands. Yes, and you enforce that for me. It just recently, Sanjo, I saw a video by the famed Calypsonian out of Barbados, the mighty Gabby. But Gabby is once again protesting about Jack, a pirate called Jack, who will he own beaches in Barbados and blocking off entrance of access. And Gabby said, not in Barbados. The beach belongs to us. We have a sovereign right to be here. And I'm going to say this. The land belongs to us too.
All of it.
All of it belongs to us.
We don't know how people acquire them in the first place. All of it belongs to us.
All of it belongs to us. And people do not be fooled by no government. None whatsoever. And they're in opposition. They tell us a lot of nice things for them to become the government. And when they become the government, Sanjo, you hear different tone. They start playing a different song.
Oh, we see. We have
the
to
music
keep them.
that was playing.
We have to
stop playing.
We have to keep them on their toes, Terry. And I think
I mean,
that's.
come on, and we have to do that.
A lot of times.
And whenever I speak constructively. And if I criticize the government that I put there, I am doing it constructively because I am fed up in the way they're treating poor people. How you're going to raise this rent? Where a man used to pay $300, you put it up to $1,000.
And $2,000.
Where a man was paying $1,100, you put it up to $3,500.
Per
You're
month?
evicting them.
Per month.
And then what's going to happen? Other people is going to come in. And what? Are they your friends and pals? Am I supposed to think or use my imagination if corruption is involved or about to happen? I mean, come on.
But what,
You're putting me to speculate.
But what is the reason why the rent is raised, though?
You're putting me to speculate.
Terry?
And I don't want to speculate.
Terry?
Yes, Sanjo.
Why is the reason, what reason given for the raising of the rent?
I understand they said they're going to be putting down some facilities and blah, 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 and all kind of foolishness, and it's going to be a cost.
When it
and
goes
so they
down,
have to care up.
When it goes
the
down,
lease rent.
when the facilities go down.
If you don't care up 3 and 5 times, after all, man, that is murderous.
No, I don't mind.
Needs to be on that side.
But no,
they want to get certain persons out of there.
That's not right. That's not right.
Have a good day.
Thank you for your contribution, Terry. I think we have another call online. Let's take this call. Caller, you're live on Voices.
Hello, always in that call. Hello, always.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello?
Mrs. Atherton?
Hey.
Yeah. I, too, would not support anybody who is moving and throwing out our people for foreign and larger investments. Right? Because that's not what we voted for. And like you always hear me say on these talk shows, I do not and I will not ever believe in foreign investment because this is what they do. They move just like the Chinese. They come in and they shove out all the small businesses that keeping our state and our federation up all these umpteen years. Right? And they come in and they see a gold mine and They come and they get rid of everybody who has been working that gold mine for all these years. And the most embarrassing thing about it is that the people that we go campaign for, we put them in and then they shove us out for these foreign investors because they come with a few $1 million. And then what? And then you want to come a year and a half from now to come to the same people that put you in office, that you shove out for these foreign investors, and to ask us for our vote to keep you in government again.
But we're not talking. But we're not talking about investors. We're talking about people who want to set up. They're not really investing as much. They just want to come in. For me, they're displacers. They displace us and they take our position. And we supposed to be benefiting. We're supposed to be benefiting from foreign investment. That's what we're supposed to benefit from. But what is happening is that they're displacing us, and they're taking up residencies. We're not benefiting.
They are benefiting because look at what happened over Fires Bay here. Those people there, when everybody was running, kept up Fires Bay, kept us going there to support them. Look what happened now. They're being shoved out for a big name hotel that have so much hotel all around the world. Look at what's happening at the strip now. Look at what happened over the peninsula, over Dr. Kennedy Simmons Highway. They're trying to shove out the sea bridge from over there for years. That is what kept us when down here is full. Right? You have choices, but they're trying to get the sea bridge from over there. And they're trying to eliminate us from our beaches over there, about the barring and chaining off beaches. These are the nonsense that these foreign investors do. And I continue to say I do not support no foreign investment. And what they're bringing here is what we are already doing here and what we can do. Yes, the hotels, they may not be as big, but look at OTI. Look at Boardwalk Beach. Look at all those other hotels, Wally Beach and all of them, who was keeping up the federation when there was not these big names hotel around. These small hotels, look now, everything you hear coming, Park Hyatt, Marriott, you ain't here in the OTI, you ain't here in the Boardwalk Beach Hotel, and hear this foolish argument that our own people have. Mrs. Atherton, they don't have no big conference room. I mean, could you imagine the foolishness?
Carl, I think we've...
These are the things. And then hear what the politicians fool us with. You are going to get jobs. And here the jobs. Cut the grass, clean the yard, change the sheet, wash the dishes, clean the toilet. Why don't you hear Carl Brown and Miss Atherton are two big managers, manager and assistant manager? Why don't you hear us as shareholders being a part of the investment? I would not support no investment, no foreign investment, until when we people and our companies and individuals can buy shares into them. Let we be owners. Then that's a good investment.
Thank you.
Because you know when they get up and run, we hold on to what's here. But you don't have nothing. Look at it. I cannot get pay from Fort Thomas Hotel up to now. Many of us, some of our workers done already dead. Fort Thomas Hotel down there sitting down. Everybody getting payout. The workers from Fort Thomas, we cannot get our payouts up to now. Where is our representatives to represent us? We have none.
Okay, Carl. I hear you. Thank you. Thank you for your contribution. I want to say thank you for the callers, those who would have calling and make our program today what it was, a success. It's tiring, trust me. Sitting in the hot seat is not easy. Sometimes you just have to twiddle your thumb, bite your lips, and say absolutely nothing. I want to thank you guys for calling in, and I thank you for respecting each other's views and opinion. That's what Voices is all about. Everybody interpret things differently. Everybody sees things differently, and I'm grateful that you can allow others without the constant back and forth. I appreciate things like that. I want to thank those of you who would have commented on our Facebook page, recognizing that you are in tune to Win FM on Facebook and that technology is working. I want to thank our sponsors for the second half and the first half. It was TDC Rams Floor and Courts and SL Hospital and KSC. I want to thank my technician, he's A1 Trent, for notifying me when there are calls on and we can be as efficient as we are. I want to thank Win FM for affording me the opportunity. It is a learning experience. Every day it's a different day, and we have lots of resources out there, and I like the fact that we can tap into it. The intelligent minds that I like the support too, that camaraderie, the defending of your own, and let us not let others come in and take what we have. We have to fight for it. That's what was lacking in time before. We didn't fight and we were enslaved. Now we have to fight for rights. Get up, stand up for your rights. Otherwise, sooner or later, history will repeat itself. My name is Sandra Quilly Atherton. It is that time. It's time for me to say bye, and I'll see you on Friday. Enjoy the rest of the week.
The brand new flexible FlexPay plan at Hosford's. We're giving you an easy, flexible payment plan at Furniture and Appliances, Building Centers, and Ashley Furniture Home Store. FlexPay, flexible financing that fits your budget, lifestyle, and goals. At Furniture and Appliances in Ashley Furniture Home Store, you choose money down or not. As little as 3 months to pay, interest-free. If you need more time, customize your FlexPay plan to suit your budget. Need 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, or 4? It's your FlexPay plan. Make a down payment as little as 20% and take as long as 24 months to pay with FlexPay. It's your plan. All you need are 2 IDs and a current job letter to qualify. Terms and conditions apply. See stores for details.
Imagine